This right here is A Perfect Rock by Nick Gralewicz, a tabletop game that will have you and your fellow players taking on the role of explorers as they search the stars for, well, a perfect rock, their new homeworld. And in this video, I'll be breaking down more about what exactly A Perfect Rock is about. Along with that, we'll be going over its core gameplay, and then at the end, I will be letting you know how you can start playing A Perfect Rock today. So, without any more delay, let's take to the stars, you know? Originally created as a one-page tabletop game for the 2024 one-page RPG Jam, A Perfect Rock, very much like the explorers you will be playing, has evolved over time. The quick pitch for this game is that it is a GM-less game for up to 1 to 4 players that has you taking on the role of explorers, like I said previously, trying to find a new homeworld. That is because their previous homeworld is either dying or dead, and there is no going back. It is a game about going and searching for a new home in the unknown, and also exploring what it means to be a person on a ship traveling light years between solar systems without a place to return to. It is a game that is incredibly simple to learn, but has a lot of depth to it. And I haven't even talked about the thing that originally drew me to A Perfect Rock, and I'm guessing has drew a lot of other people to check out this game, and that is its use of actual rocks as a mechanic. Because you see, as you go out and explore new planets in hopes of finding a new homeworld, you will be using rocks to help define their features and their aspects. And don't worry, if you don't have access to a bunch of very cool rocks, A Perfect Rock itself comes with a sheet that has some wonderful rocks for you to use. So with that being said, let's break down the core gameplay of A Perfect Rock. The first thing you are going to do when playing A Perfect Rock is you are going to create your original homeworld. Your original homeworld that, you know, is either dying or has been destroyed. And to do that, to determine what that homeworld was all about, you are going to answer a series of questions. You can also roll on those questions with a 6-sided die. The things that you are going to determine are what type of species called that planet home, along with that the planet's name, the starship's name, along with that what happened to this planet to cause its destruction. I've been doing a solo playthrough, which you can find the first episode out now. I probably put it on the screen somewhere. And in my first episode, I rolled a bunch of 6-sided die to get my answers, and I eventually came up with a planet called the Nexus, ruled by a species of intelligent mice people. They eventually pushed science too far, in which their original homeworld, you know, was destroyed by planetary collapse, and then they took the dark helix out into space to try to find their new homeworld, which, you know, was a very fun experience. After you create your original homeworld, you are then going to create your explorer. You're going to answer similar questions, discovering your explorer's name, along with which exploration gear they have, and then you are going to decide which keepsake they take from their original planet. Every time you go to a new planet in A Perfect Rock, you are going to be asked to grab a keepsake, and this is the first time you are asked to do that. After you create your homeworld and your explorer, you are then going to start charting a course. For your first star system, you are most likely going to start in Sol, and Sol gives you 2 different options, 2 different star systems to go to. One is more fantastical and filled with possible magic. The other one, a lost alien civilization. So right at the beginning, you and your fellow players are going to have to make an interesting choice on what type of game and story you want to tell. Along with that, every time you leave a star system, you are going to be asked a group question. After you determine the next star system you want to go to, there is a long time span within the game until you get there, so the game asks you to reflect on your explorer, reflect on the changes that have been made to the starship, and reflect on what is happening to the survivors of that homeworld. There are, once again, a bunch of questions for you to answer. If you choose, you can roll on it, and then you are going to have a discussion with your fellow players on what has changed for your explorer over time. You will then arrive in the new star system. The star system is going to have a handful of planets in which you will explore, which is like the core of this game. Each planet has 6 different aspects, those aspects being like sky, climate, flora, fauna, terrain, wildlife. I kind of doubled up there. And you will be using those rocks that I talked about earlier to determine those aspects. You will also be rolling a 6-sided die to determine if those aspects are deadly or perfect or everything in between. And then once you do that, once you go each step, starting at the sky all the way to the surface of the planet, you will then be getting together with your fellow players and discussing the planet and determining your keepsake and determining if this planet is a possible new homeworld, but you won't determine that yet. You will then repeat this over and over again. You'll be going to other planets, going through these aspects, having discussions, going to new star systems, discussing what is happening on the ship. You will be determining what is happening to your explorer, and then eventually at the end of the game, you will be asked to determine which of these planets is going to be your new homeworld. And I do want to note here, not every single player has to decide to go to the same homeworld. You can split up as a species, which is a very interesting thing you can do in this game. And that at its core is the gameplay of A Perfect Rock. So now let's talk about how you can start playing A Perfect Rock today. If you want to pick up A Perfect Rock for yourself, you can head over to Deep Dark Games website, in which you can pick up a physical copy or a PDF version. I kickstarted this last year, I think, and it is truly a beautiful book. I've hopefully put like different segments and different parts of this book on the screen as I've been talking about them, but yeah, it's a wonderfully, beautifully laid out book. Along with that, the one-page version of A Perfect Rock can also be found on Deep Dark Games itch.io page for free. So if you want to know how this one-page game became this more evolved game, which they're both great in their own rights, like the one-page game is still fantastic. I originally played it in 2024. You can go and check that out for free. I really have been enjoying A Perfect Rock. Like I said, I have a series in which I've been playing it solo. The first episode is out now, and if you're watching this in the future or the far, far future, maybe that entire series has been wrapped. It's going to be about 3 to 4 episodes, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this video down below. I'm starting to try to make longer videos. I mean, hopefully this video is still shorter. It is a quick guide after all. But let me know what you thought about this video, what I can do to improve it. Along with that, if there's a game you want me to check out, please let me know. I will say I have a preference for smaller games, like A Perfect Rock, games that I can kind of pick up and digest within a week, just because I love learning about different games and their mechanics and what different people are trying to do within the tabletop space. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, be excellent to each other.